Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a commander deck tech on Xyris the Writhing Storm. This commander is a multi-way king. It's a heavy hitter. It can take on everyone at the table at the same time, but it makes games very fun and quick. So the Storm himself is 5 mana, we're a Snake Leviathan 3/5. The creature type does come in handy. We are flying and we are dropping snakes on people, quite literally. Look at the artwork. Whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw each on their draw steps, you create a 1/1 token. Basically, if they draw an additional card past the first, you get a token. And it's whenever an opponent doesn't care. If it's one, it's all of them, so great multi-way. But whenever the Storm deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So we want to make wheel and deal effects on the board. Everyone draw a ton of cards, we create a huge army at the same time and try and win through that. And before you even know, you can have little snake tokens popping up everywhere. One of our strong ways to win in this deck will be our bleeding effects, hemorrhaging our opponent's life every time creatures enter the battlefield. God of the Forge, every time a creature enters our battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life. Take on everyone at the table at the same time. Similar with Impact Tremors, but it's a lot cheaper and only does 1 damage. Throwing of the Godfarrow can work too in this deck. Beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life. You're going to have tapped creatures you control. If you've just used your creatures for combat or you've used them for mana production, you can hemorrhage everyone pretty quick. Meanwhile, Niv Mizzet the pay rune here and Goblin Bombardment can be more directional. With Niv, whenever we draw a card, deal the damage to any target. Uses it to clean out tokens and planeswalkers or chipper your opponent's life. But whenever anyone plays an instant or sorcery, we get to draw a card, so they got to watch out for that one. And Goblin Bombardment, we can just sack our creatures, our little snakes, fling them into things to keep them dead. As a bit of a side hustle, I do like a bit of mill every now and then. I like to attack my opponent from multiple angles just to pressure their resources. So the Tutelage and Corrosion work well. Whenever we draw a card, which we'll do plenty of in a second, we can mill everyone. With Tutelage, you target opponent, they mill 2, if it shares a colour, repeat until it doesn't. And Corrosion, just each opponent mills 2. Okay, onto our big group draw effects. This is where we generate a ton of our tokens by making everyone ditch their hand and draw up to 7 or whatever the greatest amount was. First card, bit of a troll card but really fun, Forced Fruition. Now only play it if you're really far ahead, but at 6 mana enchantment it's pretty heavy. Whenever an opponent plays a spell they draw 7 cards. This works in a few ways. If they're drawing 7 cards, we're creating 7 tokens. Pretty good. But it also decks your opponent. Every time they play one spell, they've used up 8 cards in their deck essentially, because of the one they've played and just drawn 7. So they gotta watch out. Helps the mill plan there. Teferi's Puzzle Box makes each player basically reset their hand at the beginning of their end step, and Jace's Archivist makes everyone discard their hand and draw cards up to the highest amount ditched. So we can just keep forcing everyone to move huge sums of cards from their library back into the hand, drawing a ton of cards and we get a ton of tokens. Meanwhile, smaller effects like Rites of Flourishing, the Coming of the Crescent Moon, Dictator Crucifix, and Howling Mine let everyone draw additional cards in their draw step. As a bonus, the Rites of Flourishing let players play additional lands, speed up the game a little bit more. Things like Hoard of the Greed can be really fun on the deck. Yes, opponent, you can play that land and draw a card, but no, you would give me a token that I can hemorrhage everyone at the table for life, or I can use it and abuse it. I love Temple Bell because we get to choose when we get to use the effect. There might be times where you don't want to give your opponent that card advantage, so you can hold back. Further divisions, basically end step, each player draws a card if their opponent and they have 4 more cards in their hand, they also take a little bit of damage, just a little bit extra help there. And the last one will be Dragon Mage. Every time it hits the opponent, they ditch their hand and draw 7. Hopefully we get 7 tokens too. So they're your long-term drawing effects for the whole board to generate your army through your commander. Now these would be your one and done big effects like your wheel effects here. So actual Wheel of Fate, we can't afford Wheel of Fortune, so this will do. Suspend it, play your commander, comes off, hopefully everyone ditches a hand, draw 7 cards. If everyone draws, that'll be 21 cards drawn between your opponents. You get to create 21 tokens with your commander. Oh, it feels good. Magus of the Wheel, similar effect of course, but on a creature. Reforge It All, again, same effect, but on a miracle. Echo of Eons is again, similar effect, drawing up to 7, but it has flashback too, so if you have to ditch it to another effect, you can still play it from your graveyard. Windfall makes everyone ditch and draw up to the highest number of cards discarded. Whirlpool Warrior can be pretty cool. We get a hand reset on entry, and we can sack it later on to do basically a windfall. And the Winds of Change, a card that's gone up so much because of this commander. It's about 15-20 bucks right now, but you can find copies for about 10. Basically 1 red mana, everyone resets their hand back to what it was, just a new set. So let's say, again, you hit everyone at 7 cards early on, you get 21 tokens, hopefully. Alright, so you got all the tokens, you're using all your group effects to just disrupt the board and everyone's hands. These will help you buff up your tokens and close out the game really quickly. Triumph for the Hordes, give everything effect, I hate my friends. I love playing Infected Commander, it's filthy, it's disgusting. Parallel Lives is expensive at $21 right now, but it does need a reprint. great in a token deck, can double our token production. And then Eldrazi Monument, holy shit, they can fly just like in the artwork. Give them 1/1, flying indestructible. Only downside is we have to sacrifice a creature each turn. Not a big thing. We've actually got 2 snakes from Kamigawa here that help us out a lot. We've got Seshiro and Sosuke. These 2 guys buff our snakes and give us a little bit of advantage. With Anointed, whenever our snake we control deals common damage to a player, we get to draw a card. That's a nice bonus. And then the Sun makes it unfavorable for our opponent to block our snakes. Yes, they can block them, but at the end of combat, those creatures will be destroyed. We've got Beastmaster Ascension. Let's be honest, everyone plays this as a sorcery, it's not an enchantment. As long as there's 7 counters on it from creatures attacking, buff all your creatures by 5/5. At least 6/6 snakes, that is pretty thick. And then we've got Shared Animosity. Whenever creatures attack, if they share a type, you buff them up. Very similar to the Ascension here. Right, onto support. Library Lane is the must-have in this deck. Removes your hand size limit, so it doesn't matter. But if an effect would make you discard cards, you may choose to put them on top of your library instead. So if you're using your wheel effects, you have to ditch your own hand. If you have key pieces you want to keep and draw in the next set of your hand, put them on top and then draw them again. Win-win. Locust God is just a great sub-commander here. We just create a ton of token thanks to him. And Chasm Skulker is like an investment. Every time you're drawing cards, you're putting counters on him. He gets really fat, really big, and when he does die, he'll pop and generate a huge army of squid tokens. Ominous Seas, every time we draw a card, you're chucking counters on it. When it has 8 or more on them, rip it off, you get an 8/8 Kraken token. Great thing is you don't actually sacrifice the Ominous Seas. So this can stay on the board for the length of the game, you can keep putting out 8/8 tokens. If you're wheeling and dealing, you're resetting everyone's hands, you'll be drawing 7 cards a turn hopefully, and you can pump out nearly a Kraken each turn. And we've got the little Orochi Archmage here, a little bit of a snake support theme as well. Makes the creature unblockable, mainly for commander of course, but for the snake, it gets 2 turn on turn. Use it on your commander, make it a little bit bigger, attack, get more tokens with its own effect. Skullclap, if your snakes aren't buffed up, use it on them, just consume them to draw 2 cards at a time, really cool. And we've got our booties here for a bit of protection, mainly for commander of course, and the cloak here again for protection for your commander, but making your commander unblockable to get it through to draw more cards and generate more tokens. Alright, time to kill it dead. Whelming Wave is a great piece of tech for this deck. It is built for this commander. 4 mana, you bounce everything back to everyone's hands, except for Krakens, Leviathans, Octopus. I think it's actually meant to be Octopodo technically, and Serpents. Basically, put all the creatures back, your commander stays, and you keep using it. Act is great in a huge token deck. It'll be a nice, cheap, hopefully 1 mana board wipe when we need it. Decimate, hit 1 of everything. We do run Ancient Grudge, Hull Breach, and Return to Nature for a bit of artifact enchantment hate. And we run just a couple counter spells here, just the normal stuff you see in Commander. The main standout will be Arcane Denial, because it makes your opponents draw a card if you do counter something, and then you get a token thanks to your commander. Into Ramp. Cryptolith Right is probably the best ramp spell this deck will ever see. Your creatures can tap for any color you need. Those little snake tokens will push you so far ahead with the mana production. Of course, Bird's Paradise for a nice early ramp in the early game. We've got the Dryad here to let us play additional lands, plus fix our land department too. And the Sakura Tribe Scale as well, really cheap, really aggressive, play extra lands earlier than you should. We run Kadama's Reach and Cultivate, just commander staples for more ramp. Harvest Season is a great one in this deck. You get to rip out your basics equal number of tap creatures you control. If you've just tapped with all your snake tokens for, let's say you've done combat or you've used Cryptolith Right on them, you can get all your basics out really quick. Onto your mana rocks, nothing too special here, things you see normally, but Chromatic Lantern and Thought Vessel are your 2 standouts. The Lantern fixes your color department, and the Thought Vessel makes sure hand size not matter. Onto the lands, Gaia Reach and the Central of the Sea let everyone at the table draw cards, which our commander will care about of course. The Reptile removes the hand size, which we do need in a deck like this. Rogue's Passage makes the creature unblockable, use it on your commander to get it through to draw more cards through combat damage. And Oran Reef can buff all green creatures that enter the battlefield this turn, pretty much for snake tokens. Let's say you generate 21 snake tokens in a turn, you tap it, you actually got 42 worth of power on the board out of nowhere. In terms of color, we run the Tower, the Frontier, and our new Triumph for our all-in-ones. We run our 3 Pain lands, our 3 Buddy lands, our 3 Temples, our 3 Life Gain lands, and we run a Fiery Islet and Waterlogged Grove for a bit of draw lands. And we run the one that we can run, the Spire Garden. They need to finish this cycle. These are like your fast lands for a multi-way game. And then for the basics, we run 4 of each. Alright, that is Xyris, our big old snake commander. That is a really cool commander deck tech. The fact that it's all about wheeling and dealing the entire board to generate a snake army out of nowhere, and very quickly by the way. It speeds up games really quick. And like, look, if you don't even win the game, you've made the game so much quicker and faster. Everyone's drawing more cards, playing additional lands, everyone's having a bit extra fun. You can move on to the next game even quicker. It's great. And at the same time, you're going to think, you're disrupting everyone's hands, you're messing up the game plan, they don't get to do what they planned out to do. You're building up such a huge token army out of nowhere, and you can try and blow people out the water with it. It's a really fun commander. So let me know your thoughts, guys, about the big old snake here, and gotta say at the end, I love the artwork for it. Alright guys, goodbye, and have a good one. Ta-ta. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that video, give it a like. Helps get the video through YouTube's algorithm so more people can see it. And please consider subbing and clicking the bell icon. I don't ask that part enough. I will chuck the deck list down below for tapped out, of course, which I need to do a better job at that. I keep forgetting. And to my patrons, you guys are amazing. Thank you for your direct support in the global situation that it is that I can't say. I can't thank you guys enough. I really cannot. Thank you guys.